What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be feeding all my reptiles, and I'm just collecting a bunch of the plants that I have here. So far I have 3 pads of spineless cactus and 4 flowers. I'm going to start off with all the tortoises, and then I'll move inside with the lizards. So this is a pretty thick one, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to yeah, there we go. That's what I do in order to cut it. I just rotate it and it'll come right off. This one was a pretty big one, so I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did. Alright, so I'll just do that after. I'll just cut that up after and feed it to them. I'm probably going to cut 2 more leaves off, or 2 more pads off, and then here we have a herman's sleeping. I already fed them today, but I'm going to feed them again because I am going out. I'm going to the beach for Memorial Weekend, and yeah, so I'm not going to be here. It's only going to be 2 days, but I want to make sure that all the tortoises and the lizards are fed. That's the good thing about reptiles. They could be alone for a couple days, no issue. Especially the tortoises, there really won't be any problems with them since their enclosures have so many different types of food. They'll just be able to eat off their enclosures. But yeah, let me just finish harvesting everything and then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so I got some plantain leaves, some mulberry leaves, a little piece of squash, need to take that off, and some papaya too. And I also have all the cactus and the flowers in here. So I'm gonna start feeding the Sulcatas first, and then we'll move into the hermans, and after that we'll feed all the lizards. Alright, so I'm gonna start feeding Luna some squash. This is a good way to get rid of parasites if you think your tortoise might have any, and it's a really good antibiotic. It's a natural antibiotic, and it'll help with squash. It'll help trim their beaks. Since this is a grassland species, the Sulcatas are grassland species, which means that mostly they eat grass. And then there's other species like the redfoots that are more tropical, and they'll eat mostly fruits, and they have a more tolerance for fruits and higher protein foods. But these guys, they can't have too much protein or their shells will start getting pyramiding, and you wouldn't want that in a tortoise. If you guys don't know what that is, that's kind of like, she has a very mild, you can see the little lumps there, that would be a little bit of pyramiding. She's probably the one that has the worst case out of all of mine, other than my hermans, my male hermans tortoise, but we'll get to him after. So yeah, this good food for Sulcatas occasionally, maybe once every 2 weeks. I don't feed them often. I've only fed them pumpkin twice in the whole time that I've had them, and yeah. Alright, and this is Shadow, another one of my adult female Sulcatas, and I'm going to be feeding her some mulberry. This is a good staple diet. You could feed this probably as much as you want throughout the week, and I don't feed it to them that often either. I like to keep my diets varied. They'll get probably this once a week, and they'll get every other type of food once a week. I don't really feed them the same thing twice every week. I'll feed them mulberries, cactus, a bunch of different things. I have videos on it. I think my last video was actually not a feeding video, but it was talking about the plants that I grow for them to eat, not just the fruits that I buy and all that. So it's just plants that I grow. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave her alone because I want to get through this video. I'm not gonna record her eating, so she'll eat it because she was interested in it. She just got a little shy when I started speaking loudly. Alright, there we go. You can see she's eating. It's been 2 seconds and she started eating again. So yeah, I'm just look for Nyx and we'll start feeding her. And this is Nyx, another one of my adult females. She was inside her man-made hide. I did not make this on camera, but this was a video that I made with the lizard cage. This is the lizard cage right here, and I just surrounded the bottom part like I said I would with wood so that they could hide under it. So she's gonna be eating some plantain. This is another thing that you could feed really often because it's a leaf and it's good for the Sulcatas. And this is another thing that I haven't fed too often. This is a new thing that I'm feeding them. I've tried feeding before to Tank, but he didn't want to eat it. So this is the first time I'll be feeding plantain to one of the Sulcatas. Alright, so I changed my mind about feeding her plantains. I'm actually going to give her the papaya because I noticed her beak is getting a little long, and this would also help in trimming the beak. This isn't as good as the squash though because it's a bit softer, but it might get the job done. And if anything, I'll just have to get her a pumpkin in a couple weeks and see if that will help trim it. Alright, there we go. Next started to eat the papaya already. So let me see if I can get a better angle. So yeah, this is another food that you wouldn't want to feed too often. This would probably be just once a month, maybe half of a papaya or a couple pieces depending on the size of the tortoise. And I fed her a small piece, I think last week I fed her a small piece, and I'm only feeding this again because I had an extra one, and that's the only reason I wouldn't feed her more than that. And I only gave her like a small piece like this big, and she really liked it. Out of all the tortoises, she was the one that probably liked it the most. She ate hers and then really fast, and then she tried to go get the other tortoises. So I decided to give her this. I'm not gonna give her the whole thing. Just gonna let her eat a little bit, and then I'll come back and give some to the other tortoise. Ate a lot of the mulberry, but she left a lot too. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pile up a lot of the food, or not really pile up. Actually, I'm gonna spread them out more. And then this is just so that tomorrow and the day after, they'll be able to walk around and find the food, and they'll just be able to eat it like that. So I'm only gonna do that for my sulcatas. They also have a lot of grass to eat. That's mostly what they like to eat. And like I said, they'll probably be able to live here for the rest of their lives without any issues if I wasn't around. The only thing would be the water. The only way to get water is the little water bowl, so it'll have to rain. But yeah, I'm just gonna spread all this food out, and I'm gonna go feed my other tortoises. Alright, so Shadow was walking around, and I gave her a little piece of cactus. I'm not gonna be feeding these sulcatas too much cactus. I'm gonna give some to Tank. And there's Nyx. I guess she's gonna go eat some plantain. She was eating some papaya. She left the rest though. And that's what sulcatas like to do. They like to walk around and eat a little bit in every place. So you'll see them eating a little bit of grass here. They'll walk around, eat some over there, and that's what they do all day. They just walk around, explore, and they'll eat. That's the two favorite things. Maybe have a third. It'll be eating, sleeping, and exploring. They love to explore. Every chance they get to explore a new location, they'll do it. As soon as I open the door to my house, you'll see them try to get in. And when I open the door to my front yard, you also try to see them escape. But yeah, they love to explore. Alright, and I gave some cactus earlier to my baby sulcatas, and they already ate some and they went to sleep. I'm not gonna feed them again because these guys are not gonna stay here. I'm gonna take them to my grandfather's house, and he'll be taking care of them, so I don't need to worry about them. But now I got some more cactus and flowers here, and I'm gonna go feed Tank. Alright, this is Tank, my adult male sulcata tortoise, and my first tortoise. Well, actually my second tortoise, because he had a brother, but sadly the brother escaped. But this is the tortoise that I've had the longest. I've had him for around 15 years. And I'm feeding him some spineless cactus. This is also a great diet for them. I love feeding them cactus. They love to eat cactus too. It's great for hydration, good for calcium, and it's just a really good food for them to feed. I'd feed this probably twice a week, to be honest. But like I said, I like keeping the diet varied. But this is really good, so I'd probably feed it multiple times a week. I also feed them kibble, which I'm not going to feed today because they already ate some today. But that's also a good way to get them a lot of nutrients that they'll need. So I don't want to keep this video too long. I know that him eating this is super satisfying, and that crunch. But I need to go feed my hermans too, so I'm just going to leave him a couple pads here, and he'll finish it without any problems. So I'm going to give him 3. And this is another pad that he was eating. This wasn't eaten by another tortoise, but he was eating it. I had to use that to get him out of here. If not, he would have never came out. The Tank is getting huge. I'm pretty sure he had a growth spurt not so long ago, and he's also one of my friendliest tortoises. You can see he doesn't mind me petting him too much. He got spooked at first, but he really is a good tortoise. I've had him for a long time. He's really used to me. Yeah. Back to feed the hermans, and there's Shadow eating some of the plantain. She's eating the stick right now. So yeah, that's a good way to get hydration, and it's probably the tastiest part out of the whole plant too. So yeah, I'm just gonna go feed the hermans. I got some more pads and some flowers. They really love the flowers. Alright, so there we go. We got all the hermans and the juvenile sulcatas eating. These guys are gonna get their new enclosure soon. She's already starting to get pretty big, but so far there's not been any issues. But you know, there's no issues till the day there is one. So we'll see. Probably a couple weeks they should have their own enclosure. Like I said, they're really friendly so far. They've never had any fighting or anything. They're still young, so usually the bigger ones are the ones that get more aggressive, and she's far from that. Alright, so here we go. This is the hermans I was talking about earlier. He has a little bit of pyramiding, and this one here has a little bit too. So they're all eating, all pretty happy. The male went over there, or the little sulcata went over there, and I threw some plantain and mulberry leaves over there. I don't know if you guys can see them right there. And that's for them. When they wake up tomorrow, they'll be able to find that. Maybe later they'll do a little bit of exploring, but they'll probably just eat and go back to sleep because it's already starting to get late. So I'm just gonna leave it here. I'm gonna go feed all the lizards, and that's where I end the video. So yeah, there we go. All the tortoises are fed. Let's go get the other lizards, and that's it. First off, with the lizards, I'm gonna start off with Rex. This is Rex, my Savannah monitor. And if you guys have seen my other videos, you've seen that I built him an outdoor enclosure already. So in a couple months, he'll probably be moving into that once he gets a bit bigger. I just want to get him more friendly and bigger so that he's easier to get when he's inside of that enclosure. I think Rex is a bit scared of the camera because he's usually a lot faster when he's off camera. He also ate a little bit earlier today anyways, so he might just not want more, but he usually eats as much as I give him. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you've known that I've had a really hard time feeding Rex on camera. And when it's just feeding him, he's usually not hard at all to feed. I just come in here, put a cricket in front of him, and he'll eat a bunch of them without any issues. But as soon as I pull out my phone, for some reason, he stops eating. I think he's afraid of the phone, so I need to start getting him used to that. Today was actually a lot of progress with that because he's never eaten. Well, he has eaten before on camera, because I just put it on the outside of the enclosure like this, and he doesn't mind it as much. But today I actually had it pretty close to him and he did eat, so that's progress there. Now I'm gonna start feeding my leopard geckos. So we're here, and my other one's in here. These guys have had crickets inside their enclosures, so I don't know if they're full. I don't see any now, so they've been eating the crickets, but I'll try to feed him still. This guy, he's probably not gonna eat on camera. I'm just gonna tell you right now because he's a very picky eater and he only eats on his own time. I usually have to either leave the crickets live in here. At night, he'll hunt everything down, but I usually feed him like the pupa of the mealworm, or not the mealworms, the superworms, and he loves to eat those. And that's usually what he eats, or the superworms that are actually about to turn into pupas. And then I just throw live crickets in there. He'll eat those too. So I'm gonna start feeding this leopard gecko first. So while editing, I realized that I did not record the leopard geckos eating. So I'm just gonna throw in some old footage of them eating. I'm not gonna be talking in it. So yeah, just letting you guys know. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And leave any comments for future suggestions. And turn on post notifications if you haven't already, so you guys could get notified whenever I upload. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.